Here come the horses of the Carabinieri. This is the 15th of August 2019, and we are waiting for the 5th of 6 trial races. But before that, we must welcome the members of the Carabinieri, because this is the traditional Carica dei Carabinieri, the charge of the Carabinieri. The Carabinieri, who are they? Well, they are the military police, and they were instituted actually in the year 1814. You can see that there is a commander in front on a nice beautiful white horse, followed by 4 rows of 3 white gray horses and brown and dark brown, almost black horses. Absolutely glorious beasts. These horses are very highly trained indeed, and of course the Carabinieri who are riding them are expert horsemen as well. You can see that the commander is raising his sword, and now all of the members of this charge are going to face the balcony with all the children, and you can see them getting on their feet now, clapping, applauding for the Carabinieri on their horse in their 19th century uniforms. The 19th century uniforms, we'll talk about those in a moment. They are saluting the children of the Contrade and of course the Palazzo Pubblico, the town hall, and the authorities of Siena behind them. Marvelously aligned there in sync with their swords. Now the word Carabinieri comes from the French carabinier, but carabinieri, of course, is the Italianization of that. We even have an English word for it, carabinier. I guess that's how you would pronounce it. But the word comes from the carbine, that short rifle that was often used by the cavalry in the 19th century. But here, of course, you don't see rifles or muskets, but you see swords as the commander leads the 12 members of the Carabinieri slowly around the Piazza del Campo to the applause of everyone in the stands. Now, I'm not sure if you were able to hear, but the children were singing the song La Verbena, which says that Siena is the most beautiful of all cities, in a way welcoming the Carabinieri to this most glorious of cities, Siena. As they continue their slow procession around the Piazza del Campo, the Carabinieri will soon stop in front of the Palco dei Giudici, or the Palco dei Capitani. The captains have not arrived yet because we're not yet at the point of the trial race, but here we have the commander raising his sword once more and giving the command to the members of the Carabinieri to line up and salute. First we have, you can see the Verrocchio just down there in the corner of the screen. That is where the Mosiere stands, and he controls the mossa, or the start of the trial races, and of course the final palio race, and the Mosiere and other members of the city authorities will salute the Carabinieri as they salute them. The mayor is now also on the Palco dei Giudici, we call that the judges balcony. There he is with his hand over his heart, and surrounding him are members of the deputies of the Festa, of the festival of the Palio, and those deputies are in charge of making sure that everything goes well during these days of the Palio, these 4 days from the assignment of the horses all the way to the final Palio race itself. The deputy members are made of former captains and priors usually. Now the Carabinieri continue their walk, their very dignified walk around the Piazza del Campo. And I mentioned before that the Carabinieri were founded in the year 1814, which is well before Italy was even a country. Italy was not formed until 1861, and so it was the King of Sardinia, King Victor Emmanuel I, who instituted this guard over 200 years ago. The Carabinieri later entered the Italian military once Italy was established, and they are all over Italy today, in the smallest of villages to the largest of cities, not necessarily always on horses, and certainly not wearing these 19th century uniforms. These 19th century uniforms go back to 1848, that Battle of Pastrenio, the first battle towards Italian unification. And so you can see that the uniforms are also inspired by Napoleonic late 18th century, early 19th century uniforms, with that 2-point hat, which we call a feluca. As we come across the San Martino curve, the horses are beginning to pick up some speed, and soon the commander will raise his sword and the horses will run at full force just more than a half a lap around the Piazza del Campo, and they will exit the way that they came. So here they are again in front of the children's balcony, and they're picking up some speed, and the commander's about to raise his sword as they go around the Casato curve and charge. What a wonderful sight to see these magnificent horses with these dignified, wonderful uniforms from the 19th century, swords drawn in the Piazza del Campo. This is not something you see every day in a city center. So as we approach the San Martino curve, of course, the horses will go straight out the Via del Porione, and that will conclude the charge of the Carabinieri. What a wonderful sight. There they go out, and the gates will be closed. The jockeys who were actually watching this entire event, there you go, applause from the mayor, the deputies of the festival. The jockeys were also watching from ground level, of course, but now they must go back into the Entrone and get ready for the trial. Thanks for following us here on Palio Live. We'll see you again soon.